Immediately after, the image of a person eagerly turning a book's pages flashes in your mind. They are absorbing new knowledge, skills, and the vast world of ideas experiencing what they gain. Between these two scenes, you feel two opposing forces, losing and gaining, letting go and holding on, constantly intertwined with each breath. Or picture a clenched fist desperately gripping every opportunity, every achievement, every precious memory opposed by an open hand, softly releasing old things to welcome new beginnings. The clenched fist symbolizes the hunger to gain more, while the open hand reminds us of what we lose in the act of holding on. Have you ever asked yourself, in life's unending flow, do you truly know what you are gaining and what you are losing in each moment? Have you ever felt you were racing after something without realizing its hidden cost? Extra overtime wages might come at the expense of precious family dinners. Professional accolades can mean sacrificing inner peace. Mastering new skills might cost you the calm of the present moment. When we fail to see these exchanges, we easily fall into regret and alienation. Rash decisions, driven by social pressure or instant gratification, often lead to mistakes whose consequences only become clear too late. We may wonder, why do I feel hollow despite having so much? Or why am I always lacking, no matter how much I have? The answer lies in our never pausing to weigh what we've gained against what we've lost. Understanding gain and loss is the key to living mindfully, so that we no longer react on autopilot but actively shape every choice. When you recognize the love you've gained, you cherish every second with loved ones. When you realize you've lost tranquility to busyness, you place your hand on your heart and dare to say, "Stop," to restore balance. From that point, you make decisions with clarity and balance, weighing benefits against costs, forward motion against stillness. Today's topic, knowing what you gain and what you lose, will unveil a panoramic view of life's invisible exchanges. We won't just talk about money or possessions, but about time, energy, health, relationships, opportunities, and even inner peace. You'll see how you can gain inspiration, experience, growth, and simultaneously lose precious moments, deep connections, or your very peace of mind. Over the next few minutes, the video will guide you through 3 essential steps: how to identify gain-loss signals, methods to analyze opportunity costs, and finally, the art of conscious choice, so that each decision becomes a deliberate step opening new possibilities, instead of leaving behind regret. Prepare yourself with curiosity and an open heart, for the journey ahead isn't just a life management lesson, it's an invitation to return to yourself, listen to your inner voice, and find balance between letting go and holding on. That is the only way to cease drifting as a passenger and become the navigator of your life's vessel with clarity and serenity. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing at a crossroads where 2 paths diverge. To your left, a brilliant sunrise stretches across the horizon, promising countless new possibilities. To your right, twilight drapes a tranquil valley, inviting you to pause and reflect. In that instant, you feel 2 powerful forces in tension: what you stand to gain by walking into the golden dawn, and what you risk losing if you let the dusk slip away. This marks the beginning of our journey to uncover the deeper meaning of gain and loss in life, far beyond the figures in a bank account or the possessions we accumulate. When most people hear gain, they think first of earning more money, buying the latest gadget, or acquiring a luxurious home. Yet the most precious riches life offers are often invisible. the knowledge you absorb from every page you read, the wisdom you gain through every triumph and setback, the skills you master that turn dreams into reality, the relationships that illuminate your heart, the health that empowers your body, the inner peace that becomes an unshakable sanctuary, the moments of solitude that allow your spirit to breathe, and the unpredictable opportunities that emerge when you dare to step forward. Conversely, loss is more than a misplaced wallet or a job you've left behind. It can be time and every second you waste scrolling mindlessly or chasing obligations that drain your soul, the energy sapped by unrelenting stress or sleepless nights, the health you sacrifice through neglect, the friendships that fray under the weight of indifference or resentment, the chances that slip through your fingers when fear paralyzes you, the peace of mind eroded by anxiety and regret, and the vitality of youth that flows past when you cling too tightly to what once was. Every gain we cherish comes at the cost of something else. When you trade precious evenings with family for overtime hours, you earn money but forfeit irreplaceable moments of connection. When you devote yourself to honing one specialized skill, you may miss out on the simple joys of everyday life. Sometimes these exchanges unfold so quietly that we barely notice until the moment of reckoning arrives. Aisha, for example, won prestigious design awards and built a stellar reputation, but in doing so, she also lost the comfort of family dinners and the warmth of shared laughter. Javier left his hometown to pursue a master's degree abroad, opening career doors he never imagined, but he also gave up his mother's Sunday cooking and the familiar embrace of home. To live fully, we must learn to observe each moment, listen to the pulse of our inner world, and ask ourselves, what am I investing in right now? And what am I letting slip away? When you pause, inhale deeply, and confront this question, you begin to lift the veil of unawareness, seeing how mindless routines, instant gratifications, and social pressures obscure the path of mindfulness. Each decision then transforms from a careless click into a deliberate choice, weighed with both benefit and cost, with both opening and release. You can begin this practice at once. Before making any major move, ask yourself what you will gain and what you must give up. Write it down. At the end of each day, journal the gains and losses you've experienced. The insights you uncover will serve as a map guiding you toward a more meaningful life, where every success is deeply fulfilling and every sacrifice is imbued with purpose. When you clearly recognize what you stand to gain and what you risk losing, you achieve a kind of freedom, the freedom to choose wisely, to let go of burdens that no longer serve you, and to cultivate those values that matter most to your heart. Let this newfound clarity be your compass as we delve deeper into the art of mindful living in the next chapter, a place where every change becomes an opportunity and every ending reveals a fresh beginning. Have you ever wondered why, despite hearing again and again about the importance of knowing what we gain and what we lose, we still let our time, energy, and emotions slip through our fingers without a second thought? Amid life's relentless pace, it's as if an invisible veil clouds our awareness, causing us to run on autopilot, oblivious to the subtle trade-offs unfolding with each breath. First, there are the veils born of sheer thoughtlessness, mindlessly staring at our phone screens, sprinting from one task to the next, from dawn until dusk, without ever pausing to ask, why am I doing this? Or scrolling social media in search of a fleeting thrill, only to realize later we've missed precious moments with those we love. When life moves in high gear, we easily lose track of our own needs and limits. Next, The twin forces of instant gratification and fear silently undermine us. We've all felt that pang when a colleague wins praise or a friend flaunts success online. We crave that same validation, chasing the rush of approval, yet behind every virtual triumph lies a hidden cost. Sleepless nights racing to meet deadlines, family dinners sacrificed in the name of ambition, and the quiet question nagging at us: am I trading my health, my happiness, or my peace of mind for a bit of recognition? The fear of missing out, FOMO, propels us into a blur of activity, blind to the fact that we may be losing our inner calm and true connection with loved ones. Social pressures from family, friends, even coworkers slickly fill our minds with rigid shoulds and musts. Surrounded by images of others' successes and material gains, we subconsciously force ourselves into their mold, scrabbling to meet society's checklist. Yet in that race, we forfeit the chance to define our own values, to hear our inner voice beneath the distant roar of the crowd. Finally, we all too often conflate our identity with what we stand to gain or dread to lose. As my friend Hai once said, "When I think of myself as the director, I live in fear someone will take my place." Hoi threw himself into work after work, snagging project after project, only to wake one day and realize he'd missed his child's laughter on countless evening walks and the comfort of family dinners. When your title becomes a tight collar, you lose your breath, your rest, and most devastatingly, the sense of why you're living in the first place. Consider Lan, who spent years building a dazzling career, only to discover she'd traded away spontaneous dates and late-night heart-to-hearts with friends. When the epiphany came, she realized her material achievements couldn't fill the hollow left by lost joy and the vibrant energy of youth. All of us, in different ways, have walked these same paths, willingly trading hours for fame, burning the midnight oil for bonuses, yet rarely pausing to ask, what am I losing? These invisible veils, mindlessness, instant cravings, social conditioning, and role-based identity blind us to life's nuanced exchanges. Only when we lift the veil, when we look squarely at each choice, can we step into true awareness, weighing gain against loss with clarity. Tomorrow morning, when you awaken, try this. Carve out a minute of silence. Turn off all notifications and ask yourself today, what am I about to invest my time and energy in? What will I have to give up to gain it? In the soft light of dawn, the answer will emerge, as clear as sunlight breaking through mist, illuminating the path ahead. That moment is the first step toward truly knowing what you gain and what you lose, so that every decision you make becomes thoughtful, deliberate, and deeply meaningful. Have you ever wondered why, despite repeatedly hearing about the importance of knowing what we gain and what we lose, we still let our time, energy, and emotions slip through our fingers without a second thought? In life's relentless rush, it seems an invisible veil clouds our awareness, leaving us on autopilot, unaware of the subtle trade-offs happening each moment. To truly know what you gain and know what you lose, the first step is practicing mindfulness in every instant. Picture yourself sitting with a warm cup of tea, free of buzzing notifications and background noise, just you and your breath. You inhale and exhale, observing your breath, and realize how you're spending this moment, resting, recovering, or gearing up for the next tasks. When you devote a few minutes each day to tuning into your body and mind, you'll soon notice your rush, your unconscious desires, and your hidden cravings. From there, whether you check your phone, reply to emails, or talk with friends, you can ask yourself, what am I investing my energy in? Am I getting equal value in return? Next, an extremely effective tool is asking yourself deep questions before making decisions. Don't just ask, "Do I like this?" but also, "What do I truly want behind this? What am I willing to trade to achieve it? What will I ultimately gain? Knowledge, experience, relationships, or just stress and pressure?" These questions become a compass, helping you distinguish fleeting cravings from genuine values. When you master this questioning, you're no longer swept away by temporary emotions or others' expectations, but instead you actively choose your own path. Expand your thinking further by analyzing the opportunity cost of every choice, not just material cost, but time, energy, peace of mind. For instance, enrolling in an online course for a few hours each weekend means you gain new skills but lose peaceful moments with family, miss out on coffee dates with friends, and sacrifice a good night's sleep. By weighing opportunity costs, you see clearly whether the learning is worth the price, enabling smarter decisions. Reviewing consequences also matters greatly. Each week, spend a few minutes reviewing 3 major decisions you made, what you gained, and what you lost. Record them in a journal for later reflection. Through these notes, you'll uncover your patterns, what you're willing to trade for success, or which opportunities you often let slip away out of fear. These lessons guide you to refine future decisions, making you more mindful before you proceed. Finally, nothing beats real-life examples. Remember Nam, who threw himself into work until exhaustion, only to realize he was sacrificing his health and precious time with his child. He decided to scale back, dedicating his evenings solely to reading bedtime stories, and compensated for specialized knowledge by sharing experiences with colleagues during the week. He not only gained family happiness and mental clarity, but also maintained work effectiveness, thanks to his refreshed spirit. Or Thu, who once declined a social project collaboration fearing the time loss, only to later see she'd passed up a chance to expand her perspective, connect with community, and live her core values. When she finally joined the next project, Thu no longer hesitated. She knew exactly what benefits she'd reap and costs she'd pay, then experienced profound love and leadership growth. Through mindfulness, self-questioning, opportunity cost analysis, consequence review, and learning from real-world role models, you can move into the realm of knowing what you gain, what you lose. From there, the path ahead won't be murky, but will open up to wise, balanced, and meaningful choices. Living fully doesn't mean avoiding all losses. It means choosing wisely what to let go, so you can make room for what truly matters. In anyone's life, there are things that, if clutched too tightly, weigh us down. Yet when released, our hearts soar. Imagine carrying a suitcase brimming with worries, regrets, and unseen burdens that only drags you backward, preventing you from moving toward open horizons. When you set that suitcase down, you don't lose yourself, rather, you reclaim the freedom to walk toward joy. The key lies in clearly defining your core values. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is most important to me? Love, freedom, creativity, courage. When you know what you truly cherish, weighing pros and cons becomes effortless. Every decision, large or small, is viewed through that lens. You ask yourself, does this serve that value? If it doesn't, you're ready to let it go. Conscious choice is also the path out of reactive, emotionally driven decisions or external pressures. In moments of temptation, when others push you to do it this way, you can pause, take a deep breath, and ask, is this really my choice? Or am I just fulfilling someone else's expectations? By elevating awareness above all, you become an active agent rather than a passive passenger along life's flow. At times, losing something is essential for creating something better. Letting go of harmful habits to welcome beneficial ones. Releasing toxic relationships to invite genuine friendship. Leaving negative environments to rediscover peace. These are all exchanges that infuse momentum into your growth journey. Each act of letting go should be seen not as an end, but as a doorway open to fresh opportunities. With every breath, you can practice conscious letting go, relinquishing negative thoughts to gain self-confidence, trading screen time for moments of real living, giving up perfectionism to embrace progress. By repeating such intentional decisions, you build a chain of purposeful actions, resulting in a balanced, value-driven life that savors every moment. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and look back on the entire journey you've undertaken. From the ticking of a clock marking time's passage, to the image of eager hands turning new pages, from analyzing invisible values like knowledge, skills, health, and meaningful relationships, to discovering the subtle losses hidden within moments we neglect, from practicing mindfulness and self-inquiry, to weighing opportunity costs and observing consequences. All these insights revolve around one central message. Knowing what you gain and knowing what you lose is not a casual conversation, it is the map guiding you toward a proactive, balanced, and deeply meaningful life. In reflection, you realize that when you clearly recognize the knowledge, skills, and connections you gain, you can actively leverage them for growth, rather than letting wisdom gather dust or relationships fade amidst the rush. And when you truly acknowledge what you lose, time slipping away, energy drained, tranquility disrupted, you resolve to let go of unconscious patterns and reclaim precious moments for yourself and your loved ones. Mindful practice helps you tune into your breath and heartbeat in every moment. Asking profound questions like, "What do I really want?" or "What must I trade for this?" becomes your inner compass. Opportunity cost analysis exposes hidden trade-offs, and reviewing past decisions reveals lessons that foster growth and prevent repeated mistakes. Yet this journey is not a one-time epiphany, but a continuous cycle of awareness and adjustment. Each morning you can begin with a minute of stillness, placing your hand on your heart and asking, "Today, what will I invest my time and energy in? And what will I trade to get it?" At day's end, spend a few minutes journaling two questions. What did I gain today? What did I lose today? In those pages, you'll see the patterns of your choices unfold, equipping you with greater wisdom for the path ahead. Living proactively aware of gaining and losing empowers you to make decisions driven by intention rather than emotional reactivity or external pressures. Instead of reacting to every situation, you learn to respond, pausing to breathe, to weigh, to align with your core values. You choose work that matches your passion and energy. You nurture relationships that truly matter. You invest in health and tranquility instead of depleting your mind and body. Of course, the path is not always smooth. You may feel tired, tempted to revert to automatic pilot. That's when you must remember that awareness is a practice. Today you note 3 gains and losses. Tomorrow you pose mindful questions. The next day you sit in silence for a few minutes. Each small act compounds into strength, freeing you from the haze of habit and illuminating the path of mindfulness. Right now, I invite you to reflect. List mentally or on paper what you are gaining at this very moment. Perhaps the safety of waking beside loved ones, the warmth of your teacup, the accomplishment of a completed task, or simply the peace breathing within you. Then note what you are losing. Maybe time spent scrolling your phone, energy drained by unnecessary worries, or the restful sleep you forgone last night. Placing these lists side by side reveals your life's balance sheet, where you're investing wisely and where you're squandering your most precious resources. From the devilish details to the big picture, this insight empowers you to let go of what no longer serves and to nourish what truly does. Feel free to decline a meaningless invitation to protect your focus, to end a draining conversation to preserve your peace, or to abandon perfectionism to foster progress. Each of these choices will build an intentional series of actions, resulting in a life that is balanced, value-driven, and fully alive in each moment. Finally, let me leave you with this profound reminder. Life is a continuous journey of awareness and choice. You are gifted 86,400 seconds, every day an invaluable treasure. When you know precisely how you spend each second, you learn to cherish every breath. When you recognize what slips away, you awaken to avoid further waste. And when you truly know what you gain and know what you lose, you cease to be a passive passenger on life's voyage. You become the captain guiding your ship with clarity and serenity. Begin today. Begin now. Breathe deeply. Open your eyes and ask yourself, right now, what am I gaining? What am I losing? That single question marks the first step toward a life of fullness, balance, and purpose. May you be strong, at peace, and ever ascending. For each moment of awareness is an opportunity to write a new, more beautiful page in the diary of your life.